Hi guys, so I just wanted to make a quick guide on my Toxic Rain Trickster. I've been playing it since League start and I just killed Awakener on Awaken level 8. And I will show that afterwards, of course, with some commentary on the fight so you know how to deal with it. First of all, this is my talent tree. I started out by speccing through a lot of damage and up to atrophy, and then down to Hunter's Gambit, and after that I started taking some life nodes and some dodge nodes. Then I specced over here. I started out by taking melting, but I since then respect out of melting because I bought an unnatural instinct with grant, which grants all these minor allocations and also some chance to generate endurance charges on kill, and that helps some while you map, and it also gives a bit of mana. So then I spec down to Harrier here, and if you have a good gem, spec into that or wait a bit, and then to Foresight. I afterwards proceeded up to these life nodes and blast radius and another jewel socket because it's one off. You need really good jewels to take something that's 2 off. And then up to corruption. I actually used corruption as implicit most of the game, but after I was able to spec into it, I changed it into some life. So I spec'd into constitution. But corruption is a very cheap, very cheap allocation, so I suggest you take that to start with, and then you can get constitution or another life node when you're up there. For the gear, I actually started out by using Queen of the Forest, but that also locked all my flasks because I needed a lot of evasion, and I was using a plus 3000 evasion bottle before, and then this is a 100% increased evasion rating just to get the cap on evasion rating so you can run fast with Queen of the Forest. I've since then crafted a different chest using dense fossils. So you know, these are dense fossils. They lock out life mods, and then it's much easier to roll defensive mods like armor, energy shield or evasion. So I used that to craft this, and I made a stupid mistake by trying to slam for explode on things you kill with a Crusader orb, but I hit mana, as you can see. But actually it would have been much better if I had crafted the mod life as energy shield with 10%. That would have granted a lot, but now I know that for the future. And then I would probably have used one of the other Conqueror exalts to try and slam for something great on the suffix like endurance charge if you've been hit recently or something like that. For the bow, I started out by using an Imperial bow. That's a very easy one to get. Let me see here. You can buy a 6-link through these divination cards. So you buy 22 of these and you get an item level 100 Imperial bow, and then you craft it with fossils. You use these fossils to lock out special mods, metallic and prismatic. So if you use these together, you can see it says no physical modifiers, no poison or bleeding modifiers, and it's not scorched. Metallic and corroded. Okay, so you need corroded fossil. Because by using these together, you're locking out all prefixes on this bow except for gems. And that's a very cheap way to get a decent bow that's 6-linked. This bow I bought myself, and it's very expensive, but it's not the best bow that you can get. The best bow you would be able to get actually had attack speed instead of +2 socketed bow gems, because if it had attack speed and damage over time multiplier and +1 level of socketed gems, then I would have been able to craft +2 support gems on it. But I'm not able to do that now. And due to +2 support gems, it would give +2 to your Empower support, and then your Toxic Rain deals a lot more damage. Gloves is mainly resistance. You can also get some gloves with chaos damage over time, and they are Elder, but I stopped chaos rolling these because I got so much energy shield on it. Stygian Vice is chaos damage. You need to craft these with aberrant fossils. Aberrant, where is it? I don't have any more aberrant fossils. Oh, they're here. It says more chaos modifiers, so that helps by crafting this. And you can also add a pristine fossil if you want to lock out the defensive mods on it and make it more likely to hit life. But I bought this instead with both energy shield and chaos damage and chaos resistance, because chaos resistance is kinda needed on this league. And also the 40 strength is very important, because Empower level 4 demands 96 strength, and if I have 40 strength on one of my gears, then I won't have to use a passive on plus 30 strength. The amulet I crafted by just spamming alterations for +1 dexterity skill gems or +1 skill gems, chaos skill gems, and I also wanted to hit some chaos damage over time multiplier, but I was not able to. But then 71 life is very decent, and I'm going to multi-mod this at one point. Perhaps put a +1 minimum frenzy charge, as I've done on my rings. They are mainly just life, energy shield, and resistances. This one is kind of important because when you have a 6-linked Toxic Rain, it can be quite mana expensive to keep attacking with, and so you need to use these special temple mods that are hybrid mana and hybrid non-channeling skills have reduced mana cost. So what I did was buy this ring, and it had a free prefix, and I slammed it with a Hunter's Orb, and I hit this life gained for each enemy hit by your attacks, and that helps a lot because you don't have a lot of life regen. So if you take some chaos damage, this helps get your life back up. The Vertex is the best helmet that you can use, because it has so much energy shield and evasion rating. So when you use energy shield helmet as a trickster, you actually get evasion rating from it, and that's the same with the chest. If you use a high evasion rating, you get more energy shield. The quiver is kinda hard to make, but I used the cares. Where is it? Aberrant and pristine, and then I use sanctified fossils to ensure that I get high rolls. But there are like 4 mods you really want on a quiver. It's attack speed, it's chaos damage over time, it's damage over time multiplier, and then it's life. The last thing I actually slammed on it was insane. I slammed the movement speed on it because it was already hunter influenced, and it's a new hunter mod. And then you can craft this evasion rating and maximum energy shield if you can't craft anything else. For boots, I just use at CD step with the attack speed on kill. It's very good because you really want to be able to dodge these spells hits. And I've tried playing without acrobatics and face acrobatics, and it just doesn't feel the same. I might have more energy shield, but I get hit much more frequently, and when you lose your energy shield, you will lose 10% chance to dodge spell hits. And also, if you use your ghost routes because you get hit, then you can get stunned. So it's very important to keep up these 3 ghost routes, and you keep them up by being capped in dodge and spell dodge. So at the moment when I'm mapping, I have 40% to dodge spells attacks and 56% chance to dodge spells. But I also use Soul of Lunaris, so if I've been hit once, then I get 5% more, and I use a Grace. Val Grace, so in boss fights I just make sure that I'm fully capped at 75%. I always initiate these Metamorphs fights by using Val Grace, and then just keep the dots up. So let's talk about the gems. The Toxic Rain, of course, and you need a Mirage Archer support. You need Void Manipulation support. Now I've bought an Awakened, but just Void Manipulation. Swift Affliction, Vicious Projectiles, and last, you need a level 3 Empower support minimum with +1 targeted gems. If you cannot get a total level of 4 on the Empower support, it's much better to use Efficacy support. Then I just have some filler gems. This is my auras. I use level 14 Clarity because that's exactly what I need to keep attacking with the Toxic Rain, but just put it on that much you need. Then I use Discipline for extra energy shield and energy shield recharge rate. Enlighten support. You actually don't need this that much, but it helps a lot, but you need it a bit. And Malevolence last. So I have a totem setup that keeps casting Wither. So multiple totems, spell totem, faster casting and Wither. Then I have a cast 1 damage taken, linked to increased duration, and I linked the increased duration to Grace as well. So this is like 15 seconds now. It's very important to have the Immortal Call because you really need that extra physical damage layer. So Immortal Call helps a lot, and by combining this with the endurance charges you get on kill, you actually get Immortal Call for a couple of seconds often. And then you don't need a 6-linked armor, you really don't, because I have Withering Step, Calling Strike, Faster Attacks, Blink Arrow. So these 3 are linked, because then I can call the enemies at 10% life. Then I have a manual casting Despair for the bosses, so I can stay away. While I map, I just use Witchfire Brew, and that curses all the enemies close to me. And then I'm just leveling an Empower support. That's not a gem that I would use actually. So I might just move my portal in here. No, I don't like that. When I'm fighting Awakener, I actually put in my Flame Dash instead of my portal, because you need to move around in this fight, and I will show you soon. Okay. So, thank you for watching. I will of course post Path of Building as well, so you can see everything I've done. And if you need to ask anything about leveling and stuff like that, just feel free to whisper me. This is my name. Okay, so stand by for some boss fights. I will edit in Uber City and Uber Elder and Awakening. At the moment, it's a very good Delver as well. I'm at depth 361, but I haven't faced anything that's difficult yet. So I just keep going down.
Wants the Atlas.
Okay, so this is me going against Awakener level 8, as you could just see. This was my 4th Awakener attempt. I failed the others miserably, but after those attempts I really learned to fight, so now you can see me going for him, and I will comment why I do so. So to start with, I go straight down here and then down, because that's where he is always. So you want to go right beneath him, because this forces him down, and now you can see a big circle has spawned, and that's the area where he is, and all the big cloud will be pushed away. So now you just need to DPS him until he goes into air again. When he goes into the air, like this, he will create another big cloud, so you need to get away. And what you need to do is actually get the cloud away from the Awakener. because when you get it away from him, you will be able to get underneath him again and then force him down, and he will push the clouds away. So you can see this is going that well. So now I'm trying to circle around to pull the cloud away from him again, so I can force him down, so I can start DPSing him. And that's the main thing to do in this fight. Control the clouds, get under him, and start DPSing.
They became reliant.
So this is the where you need to get out very quickly. The first thing was a meteor, and the next one is 2 balls that are being put around you, and you need to run towards him as fast as possible, not to get damage. So you can see here, the build is actually very tanky. I haven't used a flask yet. Now he spawns another cloud, so I need to pull that cloud away from him, and if I remember correctly, I wasn't that successful, so I actually die now, because I think I can force it down very quickly. Force him down, and then... Oh, that went very great. So now the clouds will be pushed away, as you can see, and we have a new arena to fight in. Okay, so this is where there's 2 layers you need to get out from. Okay, so now I need to use my bottles because I took a lot of damage. But that's why I actually like the regular Eternal Life Flask, because you don't take that much damage, so it's better to get a lot of life at once instead of only 400 or 500, which instant Divine Life Flask can grant. And that's where I failed, because I thought the cloud was far enough away from him, and the next time I will fight him I will do it deathless, I think. So now I worry a bit more about the cloud and try to get it away from him before. Okay, so now there's a free fighting area. So now we're in the last phase of the fight, and actually he stopped spawning clouds here, and he stopped going into the air, so now it was just him and me. And I don't know if he actually are able to go up into the air again, but he didn't do that against me this time. So what I do is try to spawn the Wither Totems. I try to curse him, and then just put a lot of dodge beneath him, okay? It was a very... Actually, people have been hating the Sirus fight a lot, but it was very nice for me to try something new and to actually find some hard content again that you needed to learn, because we've been fighting the Elder for so long and we just know the fight now, and it's starting to get very easy, so it was very nice to get a new hectic fight that you needed to learn.